half an hour in. So just sitting cross-legged. So a lot of the time with cyclists, we don't spend a lot of the time seated cross-legged. You're in one position, your legs move one direction, and the front of your body is very closed. So we're going to spend a lot of today just opening up the front of your body. So just sitting with your legs crossed, allow your shoulders drop. And we'll just take a few deep breaths here. And just feel your breath slowing down. Take a deep breath, filling your lungs. All right, just one more deep breath in. All right, okay. So let's just come onto your hands and knees. You can place your pillow or blanket off to the side. If you don't have one, that's okay. For next week, it might be a good idea to have like maybe a bath towel or a blanket that you're okay sitting on and folding up, just handy for you. So just coming onto your hands and knees. Hopefully you can see me okay. You're just gonna hold this for a little bit, just in a nice like tabletop position, but you're just gonna lift your knees slightly up off the ground. So you've got about an inch between your knees and the mat. And just take about 3 deep breaths here. Feel your low back just lengthening out. Don't let your low back drop. Just keep your low back nice and long. One more breath. Good, and then just slowly walk up to the front of your mat and all the way up to standing. We'll do 5 rounds of Surya Namaskar, eh? So as you inhale, lift up to your arms, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Exhale all the way. Inhale, lift your spine. And as you exhale, step back. And we'll come all the way down onto your belly. And then into a nice cobra. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, come onto your knees. A nice gentle Surya Namaskar, eh? Down into downward dog. Couple more breaths here. Let your head hang. Get nice and loose. Press back through your hands. Press down into all 4 corners of your hands as well. And then just walk to the top of the mat. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, fold forward. You can let your knees soften here. As you inhale, slowly roll all the way up to the top. Reach up through your fingers and then just swan dive forward. All the way down as you exhale. Inhale, deep breath in. Lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, step back, downward facing dog. So for downward dog, a lot of the time us cyclists, we're quite tight in our hamstrings. So feel your knees bend as you reach back through your tailbone. It's better to have a nice long spine, right from the fingertips all the way back to your tailbone, rather than having straight legs, because straight legs tend to round your spine. All right, one more breath. All right, exhale all the way, and then just walk your feet all the way up. We'll just make that one nice and short. We're going to shorten this Surya Namaskar a sequence up a little bit. Inhale, reaching all the way up. And then back down. We took a little bit of a shortcut, but that's okay. We got started a little late. Inhale, reach forward with your spine. Exhale, this time come back to a plank pose and hold that for 3 counts, pressing down through all 4 corners of your feet and trying to bring your hips at about the same height as your shoulders. Reach back through your heels. One more breath. Good, and then back to downward facing dog. Let your knees soften, press back through your hands, stretch out through your armpits. Reach your armpits towards the mat. All right, and now we'll come back to that plank position, but you're going to pull your belly button up like you're zipping up a zipper, and pull your right knee towards your nose. See if you can touch your nose to your knee. Hold that there for about 3 counts. And then just step your foot between your hands. It's okay if you need to use your hand to kind of pull your foot forward, not a big deal. We'll just hold low lunge for a few breaths. Work on reaching back to your back heel, your left heel, and sinking your hips down. This is where having maybe a stack of books or possibly a block, if you have a yoga block handy, can be nice to have your hands on. Sometimes even just resting your elbows on your knee can be really nice. Just one more breath. All right, and then just let your back knee down. If you have a towel or a blanket, you can put your knee on the towel. We'll hold that there for a bit. So just try to lift your shoulders so that they stack right over top of your hips. Take a nice deep breath in. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and pull up and over. As you bend over to the side, feel your armpits right from your pinky finger all the way down the arm, down the armpit, and down your ribs, just opening up. Take a deep breath in there. All right, and as you exhale, come right back down to low lunge, lift your back knee. Good. And as you exhale, pull that foot back to downward facing dog. Good. If you find this is a bit heavy, you can come down to child's pose just by taking your knees down and your hips back. 2 breaths. Good. Nice, deep, full breaths, really filling your rib cage, filling your belly. Good. All right. If you were in child's pose, come right back up to downward facing dog. Nice soft knees, long spine. Try to relax your belly here. Use this as a rest pose. And then back to that plank pose. So now you're going to pull that zipper up, pull that belly button in, lift your left knee up to your nose. Try to touch your nose to your knee. And then stepping that foot between your hands. Not an easy thing to do, but it's a really good core workout. And we'll just hold lunge here. And again, you can have your elbows on your knee if that's a little bit more comfortable. Feel your toes spreading out. Take up as much space with your feet as you possibly can. Good. Press back through the heel of your right foot. One more breath here. Good. And as you relax your back knee down, you can have, again, a blanket or a towel under your knee. Take your time, get set up. Good. Just stack your shoulders right over top of your hips here. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. Grab a hold of your right wrist and just pull up and over. And just feel that nice, big, beautiful stretch right down from your pinky finger, down the side of the arm, down the side of the body. And breathe into that space. One more deep breath. Good, and as you release, your hands can come right back down either side of your front foot. Lift your back knee and hold for a breath or 2. All right, so let's just drag that front foot right back to downward facing dog. And we'll hold that for a few breaths. And again, if you're a little tired here, you can come down to child's pose. All right, just looking forward. Give this a little try here. It's a little fun. Bend your knees. Get kind of light on your feet feeling. You're going to hop up to the top of the mat. Just nice, soft feet. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen through the spine and then exhale. So from here, take your right foot, cross it over top of the left foot. So your legs, are actually just crossed in front. This is where a stack of books or maybe a block is really handy because you'll find it's quite tight as you cross your legs. This will give that IT band, that nice side of the leg stretch. Gets that nice and deep in there. So just nice forward fold. Just make sure that your spine, again, isn't rounded this way. You don't want to be bending from your spine. You want to be bending from your hips here. Some of you might be able to take your fingers to the floor. If so, go ahead. And then just switch legs. So just take that left leg behind this time, or just whatever is opposite for you. So just check in with your breath every now and then. Keep your breath moving nice and smoothly. Let your belly relax. Don't hold any tension in your belly. All right, so let's uncross the legs again. And just slowly come right back up to standing. Reach up to your arms. Deep breath in. Try not to knock over your lamp. And breath back out. So you're back in Tadasana. Good, so nice, strong pose here. Let's keep your right foot at the top of the mat. Step your left foot back. So I'm going to do the opposite to you, so that you've got your front heel in line with the back arch foot. All right, lift your toes, spread them out, and then place them back down on the mat, one by one. And as you bend into that front knee, just make sure that your knee doesn't go past your ankle. Good, and shoulders stacked right over top of the hips. Take a deep breath in, and as you reach out through the arms, just gaze out over the right fingers. This is Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Good, so the tendency in this pose is to let your back shoulder kind of roll in. Again, as cyclists, we spend so much time kind of crouched over top of our handlebars. Really want to work on opening up your shoulders, opening your chest, using the muscles around the shoulder blades to pull them back down the back. Good, so one more breath here. Good, on your next inhale, just straighten that leg, but this time hinge forward from the hips. So just kind of like Elvis, kind of moving his hips. You know, you just want to tilt the hips to the side. That's the only movement you want to think about in triangle pose, is just tilting your hips to the side. Stretch out to your right arm and feel your spine lengthening out all the way out to your fingertips. So you can stay here. It turns into a bit of a core workout, or you can just gently rest your right hand on your shin, your knee, wherever it happens to land, and just stretch straight up to the ceiling with your left hand. So the last little adjustment you can make for yourself is to roll your chest open, pull your left shoulder blade back so that you feel your chest open. If you get the feeling like you're gonna fall backwards, that's actually really good. That means that you're opening up nicely. All right, so we're not quite done yet. Just bend into your right knee. Again, rest your elbow down, and that top arm, that left arm, is gonna stretch up alongside your ear. So we're in side angle pose here. For those of you that want a little bit of an extra challenge, a little bit more of a core workout, take your right arm and just sweep that up alongside the opposite ear. Hold that there, nice. Couple of deep breaths, don't hold your breath. Your neck is sore like mine. You can just look down to your toes. All right, just take both hands either side of your front foot. That's gonna be a relief. And lift the heel of your back leg. So you're in that nice low lunge. All right, let's come back to downward facing dog. If this feels nice and restful, you can stay here, or again, just go down to child's pose. Relax your belly, press back to your hands, lengthen out your armpits. See if you can stretch your heels down towards the mat. You can even kind of bicycle pedal your heels a little bit, if you like. All right, so let's try jumping up to the front of the mat again. It's a little bit of an extra challenge. Let your feet feel a little light. 2, 3, and after about 3 little pumps, you're gonna try to jump up to the top. You just want your landing to be as soft as possible. Hang out here in a forward fold. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. You can have your knees soft here if you're feeling quite tight. And one more time, come forward again. This time, let your elbows hang down. So just grab a hold of your arms. All right. And slowly coming all the way back up. Stand and sweep your arms up overhead. Inhale. And as you exhale, relax down. All right, let's try the other side. Keep your left foot at the top of the mat. The right foot stretches back. So I'll show you the back view here. So you're going to bend into that left knee, stack it right over top of the ankle, and just making sure that your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Lift your toes, spread them out, and just try to place them back on the mat one by one. Good. Lift your spine up, shoulders right over the hips, and stretch your arms out. Do you want to see how I'm trying to use this shoulder blade in the back to open up my shoulder, to open up my right shoulder, rolling that shoulder open, feeling the chest lift, and just taking the chin and looking with the chin out over my left fingers. 2 breaths here. Again, just check in with your breathing, those nice long deep breaths. All right, just straighten that front leg and just simply tilt with the hips. That's the only movement you do in triangle poses. Just tilt your hips until you feel like you've had enough. And if you like, you can keep stretching out through those left fingers and even reach the right hand up to the ceiling. Or if you're feeling like you need a bit of a break, rest your hand down on your shin, your knee, wherever your hand lands. Or even a block, a stack of books. Again, just roll open that right shoulder, spin your chest up to the ceiling. You can either look up or down, doesn't matter. Just try to relax the belly as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just bend again into your left knee. You can rest your elbow on your knee here and just take your arm right up alongside your ear. So in side angle pose, if you'd like a little bit more challenge, again, you can lift your arm up towards your ear, your bottom arm, and hold that there. So your thighs should be burning quite a bit here. If that's the case, take more weight into your back foot. Try to even out the weight in your feet. It's all about just bringing balance to your left and right side. All right, just take your hands down either side of your foot. Lift the heel of your back leg, and we'll hang out in low lunge. A little bit of a reprieve here. So again, one more deep breath. All right, good. Just take your hands flat down on the mat, pull your front foot back, you're back into downward facing dog. Again, just soften your knees, press down through the 4 corners of your palms, and try to lift your tailbone towards the ceiling. Feel your spine lengthening out, the armpits reaching towards the mat. All right, good. Just slowly come down onto your knees. If it's comfortable, you can sit here, maybe with a cushion on your heels if you feel like you're a little bit tight in your knees, which can happen sometimes. All right, so we're just going to do just one more shoulder stretch before we get into some more core. So I'm just going to take my left arm. I'll just face the camera here. It's a little easier to see. Left arm just straight up, and just bend your elbow so that the tricep faces forward. You don't want your tricep pointing out to the side. You can even use your hand and just roll that tricep forward, just like you're patting yourself on the back. And of course, everyone's done this stretch. You can use your other arm and just help lift that elbow a little bit. Just another deep breath in And then this extra stretch, you might not be able to reach your hands together, but that's okay. Take your other arm behind your back so that you can reach your fingers together. If your fingers don't touch, that's fine. Just grab a hold of your shirt with the top arm and the bottom arm and just hold that there. Feel your shoulders rolling back. Deep breath in and back out. Good, just to release, you can go one arm at a time back to a seated position. So if you find just sitting on your heels to be really uncomfortable, you can always just go to whatever seated position feels better for you. Like maybe just a cross-legged position sitting on a towel or something. All right, so that right arm is just gonna stretch up this time, or just the opposite arm that you did before. Reach back, give yourself a pat on the back, and just try to roll your tricep forward. Don't let that arm point out to the side. Good, and just help your elbow up a little bit. Hold that there. You should feel a nice stretch right in the middle of the muscle. And just be careful with your shoulders here. Sometimes little connection areas where the muscles insert can get a little bit sore doing a lot of repetitive motions. So if you do find, right at the very front of the shoulder, it's stretching or burning a little bit, you've gone a bit too far. So you always want to feel a stretch right in the middle of your muscle. Good, so as you take that other arm behind your back, if you can reach your fingers together and grab them, great. If not, just grab a hold of your shirt with the top arm and the bottom arm. And hold that there. Another deep breath in. All right, good. Just release your arms and we'll come back to that tabletop position. So I'm going to show you broken triangle pose. So just to get our core fired up a little bit more, I'm going to come to downward facing dog. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to thread my right foot in between my front hand and back foot here. So what it'll look like is you'll come into a plank pose, just like what we did before. Pull your belly up around your spine a bit, pull your knee to your nose, and then you're just gonna thread the needle, pull that leg through, just come onto the foot down, just kind of twist your foot down so it's in like a warrior pose in the back. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling and stretch your hand up. So it's almost like you're trying to reach higher with that hand. And hold that there. Now you can look down or you can look up if your neck's not bothering you. So again, just try not to hold your breath. If you feel like you get a little out of breath, you can always just take a break. All right, just bring your hand back down and come back to that bent knee position. So try to bring your knee back to your nose, hold that there, and then back to downward facing dog. And again, if that was a lot, you can come down to child's pose, not a big deal. If you fall, just laugh it off. All right. Okay, we'll try the other side. I might have to move over a little bit. It's always interesting when you bump into your furniture. So I'm going to come back into plank pose and then pull the navel up just like you're zipping up the muscles like a jacket, and then pull the right knee, or opposite knee I guess, to the nose, could be your left knee, and then threading the needle. My back heel twists down, and then I'm going to try to lift the hips up away from the floor. Use the top hand to kind of guide that motion. Take another couple of deep breaths here. Lifting your hips as you inhale. And as you exhale, come back down, but then pull your knee right back towards your nose here. All right. Back to downward dog. Or child's pose. All right, if you haven't already done so, just drop your knees, take them out just as wide as your mat, feet together, and then stretch your arms forward. So I want you to take a few deep breaths here. Just walk your arms over to the left side. The right arm is going to stretch a little bit farther. So stretch right from the right pinky finger all the way down to the right hip. So you should feel that nice, beautiful stretch right from the pinky finger, opening up through the rib cage, and just breathe into that space. All right, and you can switch sides. Walk the hands over to the right side. The left arm stretching up overhead a little bit more. So hopefully you can see okay. All right, good. And just slowly coming back and up to a seated position. All right, so what we're gonna do is just kind of cool down a little bit. So you're going to just come to a seated position into staff pose. So Wilfred, you're just gonna have to move just a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna stick my feet out in front. You can't quite see them right now. There we go. Your feet, your toes will be pointed straight up. And just take a look at your feet right now. I want you to have your feet looking like they would if you were standing on the floor. So your feet are nice and flat. Don't allow your pinky toes to roll in. All right, pull the pinky toes back towards you. That really helps to activate your legs. Press the backs of the knees down. Good. What some of you might be finding right now is it's really difficult to have a straight spine. You might find that you're kind of tilted backward and kind of having to round your spine a bit. If that's the case, take a towel or maybe even a couch pillow. If you have a yoga bolster, whatever that you have available to you, stick that under your hips. Just that little bit of lift is going to help you lift your spine. All right. Let your arms soften beside you. Nice relaxed arms, nothing rigid, but the legs are strong, the arms are relaxed. All right, so the work here is in the spine. We spend quite a bit of time, again, like crouched over our handlebars with that kind of rounded spine. So what I want you to do is activate those muscles in the back, pull the shoulder blades down and towards each other. Lift up through the crown of your head. So just a few breaths here. It's quite a bit of work actually to stay upright in this position. All right, good. Just soften the pose. You can bend your knees, and we're going to come down onto the floor to do bridge pose. So this is a back bend. I'm just going to show you first. What I don't want you to do is to look to the side in the middle of this back bend, because the nature of the back bend, it can actually really hurt your neck. So I'm just going to show you first, then we're going to do this together. All right, so you've got your legs bent, your feet on the floor, and then as you come down onto your back, hopefully you can see okay. I'm just going to actually pull my shoulder blades in towards each other. And I'm just going to keep my elbows pressing down. As I press into my feet, the hips lift. I want to have ideally the knees right over top of the ankles and not forward any, like I don't want my heels back way too far. You just want the heels under the knees. And then I'm just going to pull my shoulder blades a little bit farther. This is where it gets dicey for the vertebrae in your neck. You don't want to look to the side. Then I'm going to shrug my shoulders. So there's actually a lift in between my shoulder blades. The C7 vertebrae is actually completely lifted up off the floor. So the upper spine and lower spine to a small degree is in a really nice back bend here. So you want to use the hamstrings and lift the hips a little bit higher, and we'll hold there. So that's bridge pose. You'll notice sometimes people actually grab their hands underneath the hips. I find that to be a bit of a stressful position for the wrists and elbows. So I like to just keep my elbows pressing down into the mat. You make the decision on what feels best for you. So that's bridge pose. So we're going to do this together. So what I want you to do is lay down on your mat. Good. Your feet are about hip distance apart, no wider. Just look straight up. Try not to look at your screen. Pull your shoulder blades in towards each other. It'll feel a little uncomfortable. As you press into your feet, lift your hips. Good. And then shuffle your shoulder blades in towards each other one more time. And really press down through your elbows. So now you've got contact point behind your head, the tops of your shoulders, your triceps, and your feet. I want you to even out the pressure between all of those contact points. So there's even weight distribution. Use your hamstrings, lift your hips a little higher, and just nice circular breath. All right, relax back down. Oh, and I've got a little dog toy underneath me. All right, good. And just take a little breath here. Nice deep belly breath again. All right, now you're gonna go up 2 more times. We're gonna make it a little more challenging. It's okay if it doesn't work out for you this week. We're just gonna try it. So don't look at the screen, just try to use my verbal direction here. So again, your knees are right over top of your ankles. Press into your feet, lift your hips. Pull your shoulder blades in towards each other. So everything we just did, repeat. And now I want you to take your left foot and walk it towards your right foot slightly so that your left foot is kind of in line with the line of your spine. Make your right foot light, all right? And try to lift your foot up off the floor. Don't let your hips drop and reach your heel up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1, and then just relax back down. Good. Take your hips down and then let your shoulders go. Good. Whew. All right. So that was like a, I guess, a tripod bridge pose. Let's try the other side. So again, your feet press into the mat, lift your hips. Pull your shoulder blades in. Good. Make sure that you've got weight distribution feet in your upper body. Walk your right foot in. Let your left foot get nice and light. Press into your standing foot to lift your hips. And then lift the other leg. So the left foot lifts, and then see if you can reach your heel up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1, and back down. My leg gets nice and shaky. I don't know about yours. If you're shaking, it means you're working, I guess. Just let your elbows and your shoulder blades go. Good, and just stay on your back. If you like, you can look at the screen now. You should be down. Good, let the back of your neck lengthen out, maybe tuck your chin. And we'll do a recline twist here. So let's just take your left leg nice and straight. Sorry, Wilfred. There we go. Pull your right knee in towards your body. Good, and then just using your left hand, pull your right knee over top of you. Try to keep your right shoulder on the mat if you can. And then ideally you want to have your right hip stacked right over top of the left. If it feels okay, you can stretch that right hand open. Let your belly relax. If you want to deepen the twist, you can look out over top of your right fingers. Just stay with that nice deep breath. So little adjustments you can make in a twist is to find that line of energy. So you want to create this nice strong line right from the heel of your left foot. Strengthen that left leg, keep it nice and strong, and feel that line connect all the way up to your spine, out the top of your head. So you've got that one nice long line that stays strong. All right, so untwist, slowly come back, and you can switch legs. Just straighten out your right leg. There we go. Bend your left knee. Pull that left knee in towards your body. Your low back just lengthening out. And then again, just using your right hand, pull your knee over top of your body, stack your left hip over the right, and you can stretch out through the left hand. So there's lots of different things you can do here. If you tend to be quite tight, for next time you'll know, maybe even just having a pillow you can rest your knee on can be really nice as well. That feels quite nice. Again, just remind yourself of that line of energy. So right from your right heel, reach out through that heel, strengthen your right leg, and feel that line of energy connect right up through the spine. If you like, of course, you can look out over your left fingers. Okay, good. So just untwist and just stay on your back. We can move into Shavasana. We worked pretty hard. We're going a little bit later in the day. Again, we apologize about that. Let your knees and your feet relax out to the side. Your hands as well, just relaxing out. You can have your hands, palms facing up. Just give your chin a little tuck. And of course, close your eyes. So we're going to rest here for just a couple of minutes. All of the work we did today, just let that go. So you want to feel your body completely relaxing down into the mat. Feel your toes softening. The tops and bottoms of your feet becoming relaxed. Your knees and hips totally softening. Just feel that gentle rise and fall of your belly. Chest, shoulders, elbows, and your hands totally relaxed. Any tension or holding that you're doing with the muscles just melts away. Your jaw, your ears, and the neck totally relaxed. Eyes and eyebrows, forehead, nice and soft. The whole body is relaxed. Now just take a deep breath in and out again. You can repeat that a couple of times. When you feel ready, just wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your time. You can even just stay resting if you like. All right, and when you're ready, just bend your knees and maybe come up to a seated position. All right, and that's it for today. So we've got 4 weeks of yoga. This was week 1. I think next week I might even just try to just log in on this device. It seems to work really well. So thanks for joining me. Next week it'll go a lot smoother. There's always a few hiccups, I guess, with the first session maybe. So thanks for coming. I hope it worked out for you. Feedback is always good too. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask.
If you want to send a message to Sarah, I'm sure you have her contact information. She'll probably just send that over to me and I'd be happy to answer any questions. All right, thanks for coming. Have a good day.
Bye.